Good morning, family. Welcome to Morning Delight. Happy Friday. It's August 18th. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Chanjin, Chambunim Kyungbe, Paro. Now for our family pledge, let's welcome Pastor Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 길 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 이 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세합니다. 8. 한여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여급 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세합니다.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Now for our opening prayer, can I invite Joel Green? Joel, could you please, thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Our most beloved Heavenly Father, true parents, thank you for waking us up this morning, for the breath of life to be able to see another day, this Friday. I pray that you can really be with us as we listen to true Mother's words, the Godable Father, that we can start our day off properly with you, hearing your words, to infuse it within ourselves, Father, to be able to prepare ourselves for this upcoming weekend. I pray that this congregation at this time with our spiritual brothers and sisters can be blessed, Father, by our ancestors, Father, our heavenly saints and sages, Father, that we can, Father, start our day off by praying, Father, for our city, to bless, Father, this city of ours so that we can start the day off with you and infuse it with you, Father, so that we can have you in our hearts as we continue throughout the day, Father, spreading your words and doing our responsibilities. I thank you, Father, for each and every member here. Bless our families, give us the health and strength, Father, the listening ear to hear these words, Father, to converse and to share our thoughts, Father, as we go into this weekend with open minds and hearts. Pray and ask at this time, Father, that you bless, Father, all our endeavors, Father, whether it be for our families or for you. I pray that we can have the right attitude, and I pray, Father, for all our discrepancies, Father, as we continue throughout the day. I thank you and pray all these things, Father, In my name, Joel Green, son of Beryl and Desmond Green, plus Central family, Aju, Aju.
Adieu. Thank you, Joel.
You're welcome.
Okay, brothers and sisters, let's take a few moments to share our gratitude and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good sharing. Reverend Corley, welcome back. Would you like to share with us today? You have to unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Yeah, I just came back from Ireland yesterday afternoon, and I was there for 32 days altogether. And it was very nice. The whole idea of going actually came from my oldest brother, who's not a church member, but he of course heard about my stroke 2 years ago and realized that I was kind of limited in what I could do. So he and his wife invited me to come to stay with them for the whole summer initially. So I told them I wouldn't be able to do that, but could come for a few weeks. And finally, we settled on 1 month. And it was very nice. They took such good care of me. I didn't have to lift a finger. And they cooked and everything, and drove me everywhere. Both my brother and my sister also. He's an older brother, and I have three sisters in Ireland, and the one who's a year younger than me also. She's disabled from polio. When she was a child, she had polio, but now she's in her 60s. But she married and she raised 3 children, even though she has very little use of her left hand. So anyway, it was an amazing trip. I could share a lot with them because I was with them all the time. And then my sister took me back to my old high school, boarding high school, where I spent 3 years, and that's of course where I left from in order to meet the church. And I met one of the priests there, who's the last president of the school, because there's no boarders there anymore. The boarding part of the school is now closed since 2008. But he was very welcoming, and he invited us to have tea in this big mansion. It was an old estate house. So we had an hour-long discussion about our church and the differences between our church and the Catholic Church and so on. And so I gave him our website, and he definitely went to see it because I saw a lot of downloads from Ireland after the meeting. So anyway, I'm going to make a PowerPoint with some pictures and maybe a more detailed explanation later. But that's all I'll share. I still have quite severe pain and stiffness on my left side from the stroke. But I can manage. But I hope it gets better over time. Yeah. But yeah, thank you. Nice to be back and to see everybody.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Ireland is so beautiful.
Yes, very green, very green.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. All right, brothers and sisters, let's get ready to hear from our Goddable reading. It's True Mother's Memoirs, The Mother of Peace. Pastor Milha.
Thank you, Kathleen, and good to see you, Reverend Corley. Welcome back home safely.
Thank you.
Yeah, always prayers with you. And despite I know your condition, you always look so great. I don't know
Yes.
how you do that, but spirit must be good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's begin our Goddable reading for today.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. Chapter 11. The Restoration of Canaan in Heaven and on Earth. The land of death is the land of life, and the land of life is the heavenly land. I was pushing beyond my limits to fulfill the promise I had made to Heavenly Parent, True Father, and our global membership to restore 7 heavenly nations by our Foundation Day events in February 2020. The work of the 7 years since True Father's ascension now was coming to its climax. To accomplish this, I dedicated a 40-day course from mid-November to the year's end as a course to restore Canaan in heaven and on earth. In various parts of the world, there are people who know me as the Mother of Humankind, the Mother of Peace, the Universal Mother. Hence, despite tremendous challenges, my resolve for the sake of our Heavenly Parent, Heaven's providence, and all humanity is steadfast. It is rooted in the pledge I made as I bowed my head before True Father's holy body. I will establish Chunilguk on earth. The 40-day course began in Cambodia on November 19th, 2019, at the personal invitation of Prime Minister Hun Sen, which I gladly accepted. I flew into Phnom Penh. The Asia-Pacific Summit was the first event that the government of Cambodia had ever co-hosted with a non-governmental organization. It was held in Phnom Penh at his office, which is known as the Peace Palace. At a reception prior to the summit's opening, he gathered the participating world leaders. The Prime Minister spoke about the importance of the Asia-Pacific Summit, the necessity for harmony and cooperation among Asian nations, and the efforts he had made to help develop Cambodia. I then spoke about the significance of this event. The purpose of this summit, I said, is to share that God the Creator, from whom we have been separated due to the human fall, is humanity's heavenly parent. Our future is full of hope since we are holding the Asia-Pacific Summit under God's guidance. The participants expressed their support for the goals of the summit and applauded the Cambodian government's groundbreaking initiative and cooperation with UPF. Prime Minister Hun also voiced support for my Asia-Pacific Union initiative as a path of cooperation that would lead to peace in Asia. Following our meeting, he escorted me into the main auditorium, and the Asia-Pacific Summit began. More than 800 representatives from 46 nations, including several heads of state, were present. I spoke to them about our role in helping bring heaven's providence to fruition, and about the coming era of the Pacific civilization, the final point of settlement in heaven's providence. I stated that the Pacific civilization will be one of true love characterized by attendance to God as the heavenly parent. In the presence of several current and former heads of state and ambassadors, His Excellency expressed support for the vision of regional peace anchored in the Asia-Pacific Union initiative I had proposed. Jesus said that the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. This sentiment could be felt as these delegates, though far from Jesus' homeland, signed the Phnom Penh Declaration and expressed active support for the vision of an Asia-Pacific Union. So much was accomplished for the providence. It seemed as if 1,000 years had condensed into that one day. I felt that Heavenly Parent and True Father must have been very pleased with the outcome of the summit. The next day, we convened the Youth and Family Festival for Nation Building and Peace at the prestigious Quebec Theatre in Phnom Penh. More than 4,000 participants attended, including heads of state from around the world, as well as Deputy Prime Minister Bon Chun, Chief Secretary Yim Nola of the Ministry of Home Affairs, and numerous government officials. As I officiated the blessing ceremony held as a culminating event of the Youth and Family Festival, I blessed the nation as Heavenly Cambodia, a nation where our Heavenly Parent can dwell. In preparation for this historic event, I offered heartfelt prayers and devotion for the sake of Cambodia. Between 1975 and 1979, the blood of many innocent people was shed because of a wrong ideology. Some 2 million people were starved and slaughtered because of communism. Today, nearly 40 years later, Heavenly Parent sent the only begotten daughter and Mother of Peace to Cambodia to bless this land as a heavenly nation. Heaven's providence has multiple dimensions. From the human perspective, my visit to Cambodia may have been a visit to a nation to host an event. However, Heaven's providence is not so one-dimensional. I had to liberate both the souls of the victims who had been unjustly killed and the souls of the young people whom the government had forced to commit murder and treat their fellow human beings with terrible cruelty. During my benediction prayer, I first comforted Heavenly Parent, whose heart was torn to pieces by the massacres in Cambodia. I then liberated the souls of those who had died as a result of the atrocities. I blessed the past, present, and future of Cambodia through the blessing ceremony, so its young people of today can begin preparing for a hopeful future. New hope for China. Since ancient times, in many cultures and traditions, the ocean has been seen as a mother. The Chinese characters for the Pacific Ocean translate as Great Ocean of Peace, and in English, Pacific means peaceful in character or intent. The Pacific civilization can become a great mother of peace by opening the era of a civilization characterized by filial piety for heaven, Hyojong, and true love, living for the sake of others. It can do so by embracing and putting into practice the sacrificial and altruistic heart of the mother, and discarding our inherited fallen practices of seduction, conquest, and exploitation. The Pacific civilization arises in the latter stages of the providence, centering on the true mother of humankind, the only begotten daughter. At this time, through the only begotten daughter, the feminine aspect of God, the Heavenly Mother hidden throughout history, must be revealed. God can no longer be seen solely as the Heavenly Father. God is the Heavenly Parent, the harmonious, perfected union of Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. The Pacific civilization is defined by the ideal of one family of humanity, which manifests naturally when we attend Heavenly Parent as our vertical parent of humanity. In 2017, I proclaimed this culture of heart based on true love at 12 rallies of hope held in Korea, Japan, the United States, Thailand, and beyond. Hundreds of thousands of people attended these events. I continued to proclaim the Pacific civilization and the culture of heart throughout 2018, starting with the Africa Summit in Senegal and concluding with the Asia-Pacific Summit in Nepal. But in order to firmly establish the age of the Pacific civilization, the participation of the Greater China region, with a population of 1.7 billion people, is essential. Over the decades, the unification movement in China has experienced challenges. Thus, we started preparations for the launch of the Chinese People's Federation for World Peace in 2017 by bringing together overseas Chinese and other ethnic Chinese. The former refers to those of Chinese lineage who have left the mainland and moved abroad while maintaining their cultural roots and connection to the mainland. The latter refers to Chinese immigrants who have lost their linguistic and cultural ties to China. When we say Chinese People's Federation, we refer to both groups.
Thank you for listening to Godable. Visit motherofpeacebook.com to purchase the complete audiobook. Godable is made possible by listeners like you. To donate, visit godable.org. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, God's parents, for these words today. It was very providential, looking at countries, nations, sovereignties that we are witnessing to. You know, I was sharing some guidance about witnessing, and I think the first thing to remember is that, you know, witnessing is not a one-way street. It's not. Of course, you can just pray someone to death, and maybe that'll change somebody. But you also need to understand the people, the listening, and understanding that this is a unique child of God that has unique interests and potential and gifts that need to be acknowledged. And so, you know, we talk about witnessing to individuals. You know, True Mother is talking about witnessing to nations, heads of state, cabinets, and Congress. So this is the example that Mother is setting for us. Is she'll show us how to witness to nations, and we'll witness to people and tribes. Looking at these highlights, here's Mother pledging. Pledge I made as I bowed my head before True Father's holy body. I will establish Chanukuk on earth. Of course, we can get into how lonely that was. Mother did that on her own for 3 years, every day attended Father's body. And, you know, 3 years of mourning. And, you know, some people criticized her for that, which is crazy to me. But, you know, our tradition is that when someone passes the spirit world, you don't want to be sad because it holds them on earth, something like that. But I always say, well, what's wrong with that? Yeah, maybe Mother is not ready to let Father go. So it's okay to mourn. But when you mourn, yes, you do hold that person's spirit close to you. But at some point, you do need to let them go. But during this time, Mother was inheriting the mission of true parents. You know, up until that point, she was living as True Mother's role. But when Father passed, now she had to inherit True Parents' role in one person. And she knew clearly the whole point is to restore a nation, to have Chanukuk on earth. Looking at Asia, Mother sees, and you know, this is not just Mother, Father's talked about this for a long time. The Asia is like this, the Pacific Rim is like this womb, this kind of, in fact, there's a map on the wall behind us here. And I'm not sure if the person who put that map up there knew, but this is the only map I like looking at now, where you have the Pacific Ocean in the center of the map. And you have like Russia and America trying to touch each other, and then you have China over here, and then Europe on the left. So it's like when you put the Pacific Rim in the middle, it's like the womb of God. This kind of motherly spirit is there. And so this is what Mother is trying to do, is to create this culture in Asia Pacific, to have this motherly heart, selfless, living for the sake of others, putting true love in the center of society. And it starts with attendance to God, because if you don't know already, empathy does not exist without God. You cannot really feel your brother or sister without God's love. So it always starts with attendance to God and parents, heavenly parents. So she's educating these top leaders about that. Now, I love this part because, you know me, I'm all about prayer. And again, when you pray for someone, it helps to know what to pray for, because then you can catch a glimpse of their life, and you can start having give and take, even spiritually, on a higher level with God. And God absolutely works. It's no question about it. So how did Mother prepare to go to Cambodia? As you know, Cambodia is very positive with us. The president has come to our events, summits, and she made him co-chair of the what was it? Summit, no, IPP. Is he the one? I think so. So he has a very important role, and there's still a kind of a dictatorship. So when he speaks, the whole nation responds, and of course they have overwhelming support for us. But you have this. What Mother did in preparation is pray. Now, what I love is immediately after she mentions that she's praying, she talks about the history. That as she's not just praying at Cambodia, but God is revealing to her through prayer the sorrow, what needs to be liberated. This is kind of the mother's touch. So she's feeling all the innocent lives who were killed because of all the change in regime and the civil conflicts inside of Cambodia for a long time. Many civil rights violations. So she could feel all this resentment that needs to be reconciled. And that came from prayer first. So before you witness, it's always good to pray. Really prepare your heart, because that's what happens out there, your technique doesn't really matter so much. Whatever, and it does matter, but not as much as your preparation. Okay, so catching it hard, developing a longing heart for these people we're witnessing to. And Mother tries to explain it's not so simple. The more you witness, the more you realize how it is quite complex, several dimensions, and things kind of become more intuitive as you go. But here she's saying it's not one-dimensional. Her task, she felt she had to liberate the souls of these victims. And I'm telling you, when you have that kind of heart, the people can feel it. They feel that you're not just here to shove something down their throat, but you understand. And you're here to help with the healing process together. So that is a big part of our outreach. Okay, China. I just highlighted a bunch of stuff here because this whole section is quite eye-opening. You know me, I love Kyojung. Kyojung it has deep roots actually in China. Now, Kyojung is new, it's special, but filial piety is not. Filial piety is very, very old. It's a concept where, and if you read many of the like the old fables and stories in China, all of them about filial piety. Basically, you have a child who dedicates his or her entire life to his parents. Even they die for their parents, and whenever they sacrifice for their parents, they get all kinds of blessings and fortune and things like this. So this is a very old concept in China. So what Kyojung is doing is, I like to say, introducing the other half of filial piety, which is your own initiative. The Kyojung is not just about dying for your parents, but it's about co-creating with your parents, inheriting the love and fortune, whatever, from your parents, and then you respond with your own initiative, with your own gifts. And this is the key, the secret to a lasting civilization. So like in America, for example, the reason why we thrived for so long was what? We put God first, and then we responded, economically, kinds of innovation in governance, innovation in economics, technology, agriculture. But it's in a response to God's love. We're co-creating. And so Mother's trying to infuse this co-creatorship in China using filial piety, which is an existing Confucian ideology. So it's really brilliant. And to pull this off would be just incredible. And frankly, the West also we've kind of lost God. So we need to put God back so that we can complete this cycle of co-creatorship. And so again, like I said, also as to have to put into practice this sacrificial, altruistic heart of the mother, discarding our inherited fallen practices of seduction, conquest, and exploitation. And so, because Mother can see that, and it's not just China, but definitely China has this issue of wanting conquest, exploitation, kind of reaching beyond its borders. But America does this too. We use our banks and our currency to kind of squash other countries, keep them in check, and so we all need to overcome these fallen practices. But by putting God and family in the center, then we get everything. We don't need to. So we can have to overcome this fallen nature. It's so funny to me. I mean, we talk about removing fallen natures in individuals, people, but Mother's looking at nations, removing fallen natures from nations. It's quite fun to watch. Unification movement in China has experienced challenges. Yes, so the problem with communism is they don't like God, and they don't care about human rights. So it's hard to work in a country like that. However, we have been able to do work, and we have a growing Chinese population in the U.S., also a growing Chinese outreach, national outreach that we're doing. So I'm encouraged. A friend of mine, he lives in China, second gen. He has his mission there, and I see him usually in Korea at these conferences, and Nam Hee Hwan. So it's funny because I went to maybe we'll talk more about China tomorrow, but I attended the Think Tank 2022, and you had, Michael Pillsbury. He wrote a book called like the 100-Year, we call it. Anyway, one of his book basically talking about China exposing a lot of their corruption stuff and their plans for world domination. And then you had a small Chinese delegation that was there, and I was just hanging out with Namhee, and I'm like, can I sit here at this table? Like, yeah, okay. And then he's like whispering to me, saying, "Be careful what you say." I'm thinking, oh, interesting. Okay, I'm sitting at the Chinese delegation table, who are not very happy about Think Tank because we blamed them for COVID, and it was kind of crazy what he said. And China didn't even get a chance to respond. Anyway, so it was interesting. But you know what I talked about? Some of you might guess, but maybe Reverend Josh knows. To start some conversation, I talked about chess, my chess ministry in Manhattan. And they're telling me, oh, we don't play chess. We play Chinese chess. It's like, oh, Chinese chess. Oh, I'd like to play that. That sounds very interesting. And apparently you can play it online, and like, okay, yeah. So maybe I'll start playing Go as well, because I know that's a more Asian interest. But it was good. But then after that, I got to hear more about their complaints about how come he can just say this stuff and no Chinese response? It's not right. And, yeah, you're right. So I talked to Tom McDivitt about it. He's like, yeah, it's true. We need to work on that. So we have a difficulty in China, but we're also not the most cordial with China at the same time. So we also need to work on our prayers and our understanding of Chinese people. So anyway, I'm like trying to get into politics, but that's why we play. That's why I like chess. I think chess is a good place to start with anybody. So anyway, thank you. That's my reflection.
Is Chinese chess anything like Chinese checkers?
I don't think so.
With the marbles?
I hope that wouldn't be offensive if I asked that. But I almost asked that question, actually. I was like, I know about Chinese checkers, but I didn't have the courage to ask that question in case I was completely ignorant.
We played a lot of Chinese checkers in my family when I was growing up. Thank you, Pastor Milhan. All right, everyone, let's take a few moments to share our reflections, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Michelle Lutz, can you please share with us? You might have to unmute.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Morning.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, what I take away this morning from the reading and the comment from Reverend Millen Stephen is that I think the 3 years of attending True Father, you know, at the Wonjon, that was the birthplace of course, the Asia Pacific Summit, and next big steps in the process. And that what happened afterwards, it's amazing, you know, True Mother, you know, the resolution was to establish Shangil Book on Earth, and she's, you know, she has brought it to pass. By she was saying by Vision 2020, she would have 7 nations that she can declare heavenly nations, and she amazingly delivered this result with heavenly Africa, heavenly Cambodia, heavenly Albania, I mean, and more. It's why she has amazing result. So we have to learn from her way of doing things. Like Reverend Stephen was saying, everything starts with prayer, and then we can produce with the help of heaven. So that's what I got this morning from the reading, that True Mother resolution during those 3 years of attendance brought great fruit, and we are able to see, you know, in her memoir, her accomplishment, and learn from it for our life, and that we may produce good fruit as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing. God bless you.
Thank you.
Hey, brothers and sisters, do we have any prayer requests?
I have one.
Yes.
So something happened yesterday. I was walking out of 43rd Street, and a member from Utah named Fritz. Does anyone know Fritz? This guy named Fritz? No? Okay. But he said he was a member. And so he witnessed to this lady 3 days ago, and he brought her to the church. And as I was walking out, like literally, the security brother was like, "Hey, talk to him." So it was, and they had just got there 3 minutes earlier. So it was quite something. We felt it was kind of like a Melissa sort of situation, you know, just showing up at the church at the right time. And you know, she's Bolivian, but you could tell she's kind of well-to-do because she travels a lot, and she's really interested in our church. She really wants to be a part of our community, just based on what he's told her. So I thought, well, I'm glad she met me. You know, anyway, I'm just saying, in our community, I like our community. So I'm glad that that she met us. I'm gonna meet her Saturday afternoon. So like right before the retreat, I'm sorry, right before the concert. So pray for her.
What's her name?
Her name is Gina Mendez. I'll put it in the here. Gina Mendez. So Dr. Sonnenborn wants to unmute himself, so we'll let him share. But yeah, pray for her. To feel God's love and joy, of course, in our community.
Thank you. We will.
That's Dr. Sonnenborn. Good to see you. Did you want to?
Yes, I'm trying to go home next week. I was all set for planning to go home Tuesday, and now they're remodeling my apartment, and I have to postpone it to at least Wednesday. Please pray for everything to go smoothly. Okay?
Yes.
I'm
Glad you
still
can finally move out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Have
you were, it was delayed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Successful, we call it discharge.
Yes.
All right, brothers and sisters, do we have any other prayer requests before we start? Okay, let's begin our 7 minutes unison prayer. Shija.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent. Good morning, true parents, Heavenly
For your
Parent,
help today with Gina
everyone here,
Mendez.
Heavenly Parent, and
Pray
true
for
parents.
her
Pray
to
for
be successful on
parents
Saturday,
and
tomorrow.
true fathers,
Other people here
Pray for Gina Mendez.
Witnessed
pray
by
for
Fritz from
fathers.
Utah.
or
11
She's from
members of
Bolivia.
the
so we're coming up.
She
We
seems
pray we
like
can prepare
well
happy birthday.
prepared, Father, to
And this 11
hear
family.
about our two parents and about the
Father,
providence.
that Lord,
Pray for Dr. Sonneborn on his return next week.
but that
I pray
every
also,
parent
Father,
pray
a
for too much
solution
long
to
life
our
and
drain problem up on the roof.
every
Spiritual
parent
Every time there's rain, Father, there's a little bit of a clog.
Good luck here in
pray
the
for
pray
those
for
Problem.
Michael
and
Stewart
And
couples
as
supporting her through
somehow, I pray that you can figure out the best way to resolve that
joy,
situation,
damage
Father,
like
unity,
which
and
is
the lack
not
of faith
pray for the
easy.
Lord,
that
If you
mission
can
every
going
parent
on.
in life.
set up a
Thank you for your
step-by-step
ministry.
going home soon.
Let it go.
Three
for each
milestones.
of my brothers and sisters here on the call.
Thank you
Therese, especially, and Nancy, for
for Jesus
the
name. I like to pray for
communication, Father, for him calling
healing.
Howard,
his health, Father, to
I like
overcome
to
his
pray for
pain
Carlina.
and the stiffness. Father, I
She
pray, Father,
has
for
gone
Vera
through
and
Mayor,
Shinoy-san.
tribulations.
Vera, who worked
She's growing
hard to
up as a
clean up the
teenager.
seminary with her Filipino brothers and
baby,
sisters coming in today or
your
tomorrow.
will,
Pray that you can give her some
we might,
time to recuperate.
might be
Best
starting
they can
small.
stay healthy with a parent,
Looking forward
not
that
overwhelm herself, Father. For
bless her.
Start.
Sister Maya, Mayo,
Others witnessing tenacious
Yoshiko,
witness to
Mayo,
Pray for
husband, and Hayo Chong,
Menendez that
who is
Rodriguez, the
start.
Rabbi Fitz Monica. She's
watching the
learning
New
about the
Jersey
divine
program,
principle.
but he likes ours better,
Listen to
Father. Pray that
Attorney
you please bless him and to learn from
Department of
everybody.
Community.
Pray, Father,
Grow
for
to the right
all
principle.
the
Class
brothers and
quarter.
sisters who are on this call right now.
Start for his family.
We pray for Elizabeth, especially also, and
I
for
really pray for
Julia,
Julia that she
Pray
can
for good
recover
health
on the way
and
to
strength
the
for
regardless of
everybody.
the
camp
Your
successfully
heart.
today.
St. John's,
For
Strong
the disease she
Makbala,
has.
your will and
All
learn.
our
working
brothers
very
and sisters.
hard, Father.
Your
And
Pray
work.
for Andrew
Every
and
parent
Barbara.
the
Pray
two
for
parents.
their well-being.
So
For
be her home.
Stand
Drew's
by the divine
continuous
principles.
communication with you.
in the
Being
Bless
street.
blessed, Father, with so many
really good
different
that
ways. I pray that
knowledge
the
that he
blessing can
has
stay with him. He can liberate it both,
Here,
evidently,
immediately know
from
that
the burdens that he's carrying.
people
Conscience.
be
Continue to develop the strength of his conscience.
strong,
It's giving away, Father, this
consider
work
yourself,
of his, Father. Pray for all those
look to life.
brothers and sisters who are
So
giving their
like
best,
for a movement
Father, in
parent,
every area. Father, thank you for
like
Reverend
unto my heart,
Milhan,
she
right
who
thing
reads
can
Father, Mother's memoir in
understand
a whole different way than I do.
honest,
Grateful, Father, for his take. It's much higher,
life.
much more insightful.
having
Thank you.
this
Let it be an awesome
decision made
For Ellsbury,
go forward.
pray for Pam, Father, who is a
love.
player.
Every
And in terms
Love
of
Goodness.
the work
for
that
members
needs to be
that
done, Father, in
pray
China.
that we can go
knowledge
forth in
also
100-year marathon of China secret strategy to replace America as the global superpower.
for
Pitch battle is on right now.
Better world.
Pray with the parent that
be with Kathleen.
Bless.
Give her the health that she
Go
needs
on
and
to
also the
the
blessing
transcend
that she deserves, Father,
United
because you have paid the
Nations
price. The ancestors have paid the
into a new
price.
realm of spirituality,
Pray, Father, for
whereby
Abraham,
we
Henry,
can talk
May,
with
and
you
all
and we
the
can
brothers and sisters
engage with
there.
you
That's Marguerite.
and receive
But also continue the mission,
your
Father. Pray
guidance
for our
for our
sister
individual lives,
uh,
for our families. Oh
Simone,
God, that
Simone,
the
who is
world in
taking
which
over
we
the
live today
responsibility here in Connecticut, who is in charge. Pray for
prestige
the Gomez's family,
teachings of our true parents.
the wife and the spirit
And
world,
we hear
Watson's
hymns of
job,
people
Father,
around the world
Helen's new baby, daughter, for
under the divine
Queens,
principle
for Reverend Desmond
want to see
in Jamaica, meeting with
what does that really
Anglican
mean in terms
Peace,
of
Father. Pray for
restoration
Joel and his health.
of
Pray
the
all the
world.
health, Father, for Tapia,
So we come this
Bush
morning
family,
acting in
especially pray for Michael and Liz
salmon in
Gilligan.
Jamaica,
I pray for also for the
Joel Green,
Annie Redmond, in
Joel
Connecticut,
Green
Therese,
or Sebastian Human.
for the Lotz family also, for Johnny Bourne, Dr. Sonny Bourne, to have good communication with his
Miss
wife,
Idell, our
for
moderator,
the Fiara family, the
his
Yukawa
family
family,
of millions
again,
of
the
people,
family,
the
Brother
newly
Klosky and Akia,
committed couple,
Lisa family, Becca family,
Joshua
the
and
Miles
his
family,
engaged
Father, the
wife,
Sutter family, the Coenza, the Greens again, Father, and the Valentine, the White family, and also Aronik family,
All the
Suck
Messiahs.
family, and the Moore family, the May, the Al family, and Galame family, Galame. I pray for them all, all the Dina's Rush, but all brothers and sisters couldn't make it on the call
I want to
today.
pray for Wilson Ferreira and his
Yes,
family
missionaries and
and his daughter
sister who
Alina.
with COVID, Father, that everybody else can be safe.
Oh Lord,
Pray for Malena, also everybody will be successful for good year. Pray, Father, for the providence in each individual person, family,
The guests are
including Father, providence,
participate.
multidimensional, the national level to mother.
Thank you, everyone, for your prayers. Do we have any announcements?
Forget to mention, but today we have our Divine Principle education program here for all the guests or all the people we've been witnessing to. So you're welcome to pray for that. Of course, space is limited, so it's going to be just for the guests. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see the result. And again, it starts with prayer. Been saying so. That's something we can. That's the announcement. This Sunday, I'll be preaching. There's the book. Yeah. Anyway, Reverend Sebastian's holding up the book by Michael Pillsbury. He was a speaker at the think tank, and that's his book there. Right. Yeah, very, very anti-China sentiment there. Yeah. But also understanding. He also speaks Chinese, so he knows the culture. You can check it out. I read it. It's interesting. Yeah. This Sunday I'll be preaching, and the Original Song Project will be performing. They'll be leading the songs with Uncle Robert, and Sarah. So that should be good.
Yeah, it should be awesome. Plus the concert is tomorrow, right?
Right, the concert's tomorrow. There's a Facebook event. All are welcome, free to attend. That's funny. I was talking to Amina, Justin's sister, Justin Okamoto's sister, and she's like, actually, they're all nervous because they didn't have much time to prepare. These original songs. So she's a little nervous. She's like, I want as few people there as possible, but that's okay. That's we'll bring the crowd, whether they like it or not. So.
And today,
Right. Did you ever say something about the global health event yesterday? I couldn't attend. Yeah.
It was very good. You guys don't know. Phil is extremely knowledgeable about the medical world. We have this expert, And so he's been contacting these high-level people. What was it? Two speakers came. In fact, the one speaker, she has like a $70 million organization doing, disaster relief and medical relief in other countries. And the other one, like, it's funny, his name is Mohan. I can't pronounce it. I can't remember his last name right now, but it sounds so much like my name. So, and we get along really well, actually. He came from like IT world, and then he decided to help, Nepal and these other countries. And he has a very holistic approach to medical relief. He gets into education, and he really helps kind of raise a generation of peacemakers there. So very good spirit. You can feel it from these people. Well, I can share the recording actually if you want it. Anyone wants to watch it. Mama Jean was there, and I think Toshie-san was there.
Yes.
And it's a good beginning, a very good beginning. I told Phil I can't do anything unless we do one webinar and then we publish the story in Family Fed, because his vision is so huge. I can't. I guess, okay, you gotta slow down. We're gonna do this the right way. He's already getting Caleb to like be his his communications director. I'm like, well, okay. we're not going to the. He wants to write a press release, do a press conference. I'm like, okay, slow down, But it's a great vision. It's a great heart, and so, but he trusts me, and I'm moving at the pace. So I've already contacted our communications team at headquarters so we can publish a story and go from there. So this is exciting because we get to write the narrative. See, that's the key. We should be writing these stories, not some left-wing media outlets. Now we should be writing the story, and then they can feed off of what we're doing. So it's good, very good.
If you could share that, I'd appreciate it. Yeah.
Huh?
If you could share that, I'd appreciate it. The recording.
If you want to hang around for just a second, I can put it in the chat.
Great.
Well, the sun is gonna come out, so that'll be good for your guest today, Pastor Milhan.
Yes, after the
It might
rain.
not look like it right now, but
They'll be coming. They'll just follow the rainbow. They'll make their way here. Where's the? Oh, not that one.
For them as disappointing for us.
Okay. He's been very patient. Very patient. Here it is.
Checking us out for the last 2-3 weeks. She's concerned.
Okay.
Could tell his company.
And Reverend Josh, we could send that out to the community.
He's very happy. Am I looking forward to this?
If you want to jump to towards the end,
Not really, but I mean, at least it's
I asked a question about what you can do as a Joe Schmo to help out. And what was it? So I'll give you the timestamp for that, for those who are interested. Timestamp. Okay. Well, you guys really want to see this.
Yeah, he's asking for a passcode. Right there.
Yeah, it's in a text. I mean, the chat.
There's the timestamp. It's towards the end, kind of asking the question how you can get involved.
Okay.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. Happy Friday. Good luck today. Hope you
Happy
have a
Friday.
Happy Friday.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good day.
Have a
Bye,
nice
hi,
day.
John.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
blessed